everybody. So today I am going to be talking to you guys about how to study and go through school with anxiety. Um, I'm gonna try to make this as little of an edited video as possible because I want it to be, real and everything. So this is gonna be chill. I'm just gonna be talking about how I do it. It's not gonna be like a super serious video. I just want to try to help those out there who may need some help around this really stressful midterms or finals or mocks time, whatever you call them, where you live and you're in school, you have midterms and class finals and all of that stuff. So yeah, here is how I do it, I guess. So let me talk about what type of anxiety I have. I have generalized anxiety disorder, which is just like the basic, not basic, but like the anxiety disorder specific name, I guess. And if you don't know what that is, it's essentially where situations that don't make everyday average day, I can't talk, every day people nervous. They're situations where, people normally don't get like super duper anxious and nervous, and they don't have triggers that make them experience all these anxiety symptoms like shortness of breath, shaking, hot flashes, cold flashes, heart palpitations, like super fast beating heart. I get this one a lot where I can't feel my extremities, so like sometimes my fingers go numb, or like my legs when I'm in an anxious or triggering situation. And everybody has different triggers. My personal, like, really big trigger is situations where there is a possibility of failure. Failure in general triggers my anxiety a lot. For example, the other day at my school band concert that I was performing in, I had a solo, it was more of a duet, but I had it, and like in the middle of the concert, like right before it started, I could feel my heart like beating out of my chest, and I swear I'm not exaggerating, the my blood pressure was going like my heart was beating at like that fast, and I could hear it. And I had that thing where I can't, like, my extremities go numb. My fingers went just a little bit numb, and I got really hot, and the room was really hot in general. But I got like a huge hot flash, and yeah, so that's my big trigger, fear of failure. In situations where failure is possible. So I get really bad test anxiety. I get really worried about when I put answers down for homework. I have to check with like literally everybody to make sure that it's right, and if it's not, I need to know what I did wrong. And it's not because I'm like a grade grubber or anything. I'm really not. I like getting high grades, but like I'm not a grade grubber. It's because like I literally have to know, or else I will get so anxious, it's ridiculous. So because my trigger, my anxiety trigger personally, is that I think I have a generally good idea about how to stay on top of schoolwork and not get too
too anxious during midterm time, because midterms and finals and all of that stuff, and even throughout the school year with normal tests, they're so based on whether you pass or you fail. And for someone with anxiety, failure is not something that goes down very well, and I know that for a fact. So, what I usually do is I have taken to planning, and that's like my first tip: plan everything. This is my planner that I use just for all of my schoolwork. I write down everything in here. Like, this is what I have for this week. All of that purple is my homework. I write down everything that I have to get done in the future, that I have to get done today, events that are going to happen at school, outside of school, tests that I have, everything. Writing everything down essentially helps you to remember what you have to do, so you won't forget anything, so you will make sure you are prepared for school. My lighting is going crazy. Ooh, please, ooh. Alright, that's a little better. So yeah, make sure you plan out everything. Make sure you are fully prepared for everything. And I know you might be like, but what if I still forgot something? I get like that all the time. Trust me, if you write things down as you remember them, and they're all in one consolidated place, whether it be in a planner, on your phone, just on a random piece of notebook paper that you know you're going to look at, have another friend remind you, whatever it may be, make sure you do that so you have everything listed out for you and you know that you're going to get all of that stuff done. Another big problem for me is motivation, because a lot of times with schoolwork and this whole fear of failure thing, I'm like, I have to get this stuff done, but I have like no motivation to do it. Because I'm a really sleepy person just by nature, so the problem of battling with motivation and having to do work and the fear of failure and all of that stuff jumbled together can be very rough, and I know a lot of people know what that's like, especially those who are battling with anxiety and depression, which, pardon my language, but that must really, really suck. And, you know, I wish you guys the best if you are in those shoes. I personally do not have any sort of depression whatsoever. I only have anxiety. But I know it can be still very hard to find the motivation, but you're fighting that anxiety, like what if I miss this point, what if I fail the class, what if. I understand, and I know it's so difficult, but managing your time will help you loads. Last school year, I stayed up almost every night until 1 a.m. or later. Excuse me. I stayed up super late, like every single night, because I didn't manage my time well. Something just like hit the side of my house. Whatever. Anyways, last year I didn't manage my time well at all. So, and that just spiked my anxiety every single day. I was tired every day in class, and the whole, what? Oh my god. The whole, what if because I'm tired, what if because I stayed up late, I'm not going to do well? You know, that whole thing always kicked in, especially on days when I had tests and things. But this year I have taken to study methods, I've taken to, as I said, planning everything out. I've planned out my days after school, so I will have enough time to do everything I need to do and not stay up crazy late every single night. I know it happens some days, but, you know, you can't do anything about it every day. Like last night I had an orchestra concert, so I didn't get all of my homework finished. I was up pretty late last night, but that's just not a normal thing for me anymore, which is great because I get close to enough sleep. You know, I can't go to bed at 8 o'clock every night. That's not possible for someone who takes my caliber of classes. And for most people who are in any sort of extracurriculars at high school, it's almost impossible to manage to get enough sleep and then be at school on time the next day. Unless you are in a school district, you know, that has later start times than most. That's just impossible. So, I know it's very difficult to do that whole time management thing, but trust me, it will help you. If you manage your time along with writing everything down, you will ensure that you will need not worry about deadlines, forgetting about tests, not feeling like you haven't studied enough, feeling like you're just not good enough for the test. You don't submit to the test, make the test submit to you is what I always tell people. Make it so you feel like the test is too easy. That's how much you should plan out everything and manage your time. That doesn't mean kill yourself studying or anything, but that is something that I go by. The last thing that I want to talk about is make sure you have people. You have the phone numbers of people in your classes. They don't have to be in like your specific period, but those who are taking the class that you are taking. So in case you feel any sort of anxiety or nerves about something like a test or a homework assignment or something, and you have questions, you have somebody to ask. You have somebody to text and say, hey, I don't know about this question, can you help me out, or what did you get, you know, and just someone that you can converse with about your homework in that specific class and your tests in that specific class, how you're studying for that specific class, and it will reassure you to a point where you don't need reassured anymore for that specific thing anyway. You know, when you have anxiety, that sense of needing reassurance is never going to go away. And that sense of what if is probably never going to go away, which sucks. But if you can't make it go away, at least do what you can to make it work for you, and make sure that you do the best that you possibly can. And having people to reassure you about things totally helps. I have someone in my math class that I'm very close with, and also my boyfriend is in my math class, so we converse about things all the time, and I double check all of my answers with him for, not for tests, but for studying and homework and stuff. Having those kinds of people, I promise, will help you. If anyone has any questions for me about anything that I've said, or what I do, or any other questions, please leave them in the comments, or you can contact me at my Tumblr, which I will leave in the description. I hope you guys found this video helpful, and I hope to be making more videos in the future about things like this, or whatever I feel like. I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye, everyone!